Hey, everybody. I'm Bill. That's Brian. And welcome to Talkin Overtime. As you might know, I got to give you a cheers. Hold on. Go back up and go over to the side. We'll do a cheers. We'll do it this way. Nope.
Kink. I missed it. Pink.
Nope. Other way.
Other way for you? Oh,
there it goes.
There you go.
I'll work the clinging.
See, I saw it the other way, but you see it the other way.
That's the problem. What I always have, and I'm like, hey, I'm pointing to Brian. Brian's right there. Look at the way I'm pointing.
So if I'm mad at you, I'm like, there you go.
But I have the finest Coke Zero going today.
I have Mick Coors. I really did write the M before the C, so it felt a little more Irish. Because it is St. Patrick's Day around here.
If you celebrate St. Patrick's Day, which I found out the origins of it, I study history.
He was Italian. That's the problem.
Well, he was kidnapped.
He was kidnapped?
He was kidnapped when he was younger.
Shanghai?
I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but I want to make sure I get it right. He was kidnapped when he was younger. He was Roman. He was kidnapped from Ireland.
Okay.
And he then brought Christianity back to Ireland, I believe is what it is. When he came, when he was able to escape, when I think he was 16 to go back.
Jeez.
Something along those lines.
Did he come back? Did he come back with like a band? Did he come back with like a band of leprechauns and beer?
Yeah, it was he. I think it was like a wheelbarrow of Lucky Charms he escaped in.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, it's something along those lines. If you are Irish and know the actual story behind the day, and where Guinness comes in, let us know in the comments on that front. But Brian, we talked a little while ago, and we're doing Talkin Overtime now. You're watching the Flyers game. Flyers are down 2-0 right now.
Every time I turn on hockey, it's an intermission. Like every time.
Yeah, it's the best way to watch it. But
every time, like the worst timing.
But we have to get our third co-host going here, the Wheel of Illusion, to see what we're going to land on. Look at that. You see the way that the light dropped on you there? Hold on 1 second. Look at that.
Bing.
Look at that.
Oof.
Now you can see like.
Look at that. HD.
That's too much HD. Hold on.
Oh, jeez.
I gotta whiten it out a little bit there to hide all the imperfections. All right. So we got the Wheel of Illusion coming up here. And I decided to leave it large like this. We have the list here next to it on the side. So card collecting. That's Brian and I both collect hockey cards, baseball cards. I don't think we have much football. I have one football.
I have tons of football cards.
I found a Herschel Walker rookie card for some reason.
Hey.
I don't know. Rewatchable 80s cartoons. Should be self-explanatory. Bionic 6. This is for Chris Sizemore. Top 5 video games. Self-explanatory. Options not explored. That's for m.a.s.k. Something that might have not been explored in full entirety. They've covered a lot of things over the years, but we just don't know exactly what. There could have been opportunities where they could actually have capitalized, and that can span now, or then and now. So, Super 7. We talked a little bit about this in another chat that we had. It's not posted yet. It will be soon. Where Super 7 might be our saving grace in the m.a.s.k community. The Snyder cut of Justice League. So we're recording this before it's out to the masses. So this is, if it lands on it now, it's going to be expectations, what kind of precedent does this set for things, etc. If it lands on it after, it's going to be us reviewing it. But I might leave it on there because I'm off tomorrow. I took off the entire day. I have my alarm set for 3 a.m. That
is hardcore. That's too hardcore.
So, no, when the Justice League movie came out, I was so disappointed. Like,
Well, it's got to land on it. It didn't land on the wheel yet. Let's not go crazy.
Yes, but I'm saying I was so disappointed. So there's that there. And the strangest item in your collection, there's some strange things in here, and I'm sure you have the same thing there. So that's what we're going to land on, and hopefully, whatever topics we land on, you kind of talk about it in the comments as well. But let's spin it here and see what we land on.
It's going to be video games. Ah,
so that's a good one to land on.
It is.
So rewatchable 80s, and so bear with us here because there might be something maybe came out in like 90 that we might go with or something along those lines, and we're just two humble folks.
And it's a decade of cartoons.
It's hard. It's hard to remember all the dates of things like that, but I can tell you that there are some rewatchable ones, and M.a.s.k is one of them. And I'm not just saying that because I'm wearing the shirt and I have all this stuff behind me. It lends well. It takes it takes history elements in, so it's never going to be stale on that front. It has cars that fly around and shoot things, and it has I have a post up right now on our channel. Masks or helmets? I go masks. Other people go helmets. You have masks with superpowers. And the voice acting still holds up to a point, but it's rewatchable in my mind. And there's other ones too that are rewatchable. There's some that aren't, but that's not the topic. So we have M.a.s.k out of the way on that front on the 80s. And there are, I don't know, what do you like? I'm trying to think of the most iconic ones. So the Ninja Turtles were late 80s.
Ninja Turtles, Transformers, He-Man, G.I. Joe. Let's get those out of the way. Those are the big four, right?
I still enjoy Voltron.
I like Voltron. Voltron holds up. A lot of the stuff that was imported, not made for America, like that was originally intended for other countries. I don't think Voltron. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it was originally like Japanese, and then they dubbed it for American. Like I think it was like Battle Lions, or I always forget the name of the original. Go something. But
I don't remember the original name.
It's like something. I know it. I know when I hear it, like Go Lion or something, whatever. But a lot of those hold up a lot better than the ones that were like shipped here, intentionally for our viewing pleasure. Like He-Man, unwatchable. But Transformers, I got into that like 2 years ago. I'm a real noob when it comes to Transformers. First season's good, movie's good. I know kids are scarred from the Optimus Prime spoiler, but where he dies. But those are still rewatchable. Like I love that movie, and I've watched it for the first time like 4 years ago.
I can't wait to show Liam that and watch Transformers series because I agree with you. I'm not a huge Transformers collector, but
I have one shelf of it, like Deltoff.
I have mostly Dinobots. I have 4 Dinobots, Optimus Prime, Starscream, and a couple others there. Like it's not much.
There's my entire Transformers collection. I don't know if it's showing.
Slow down your camera a little bit there.
One Deltoff.
You got Henry Cavill there too.
I always have Henry Cavill. He's a good Superman. You know what? Off topic, real fast. I saw one scene from that new Superman show, and it looks awesome. So now I have to go out of my way to watch it.
Correct. Superman and Lois.
I saw one scene today, like a 30-second thing. I'm like, I gotta watch that. It looks like they did it right.
We haven't watched any of it yet, and it's only because we haven't had the time. But I've seen clips.
The clips are good.
It's going to have some extra drama to it because it's on the CW. But it looks actually good, and I'm going to give it a shot. Especially, I liked Arrow for a while. I liked the Flash for a while, but they kind of got stale.
I'm a DC guy, and I've never watched one episode of any of the shows. And Arrow, I claim to be a DC guy. I don't watch any of it.
Arrow. We'll talk about. We could put those on the wheel too. Early seasons of Arrow are phenomenal.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
And same thing with the Flash. The Flash, there's then they try to mix all this other stuff in there, and it doesn't really work that well. But the Superman show, I hear a lot.
I'll catch up eventually.
And I don't remember Smallville at all. I watched.
See, you know what it is with the WB and all the stuff that happens like that? I just think of it, and this isn't a knock on Dawson's Creek, but I just think of it like superheroes, but like Dawson's Creek version. It feels like very teenagey and almost like Beverly Hills 90210. Like that's the way it appears to me. It looks like they're going for like a weird young audience. I'm an old dad, you know. I watched that John Wesley Shipp Flash back when I was a kid, and I'm like, that's my Flash. Even though
he's in the new Flash.
I know, isn't he? I heard that.
Actually, it's really good. But you just said that I could you imagine like today watching 90210 or anything along those lines, whatever that was when it came.
No, I'm old. Like teenagers can watch that stuff, but I wouldn't start watching anything that even remotely reminded me of my youth. Like I'm an old cranky guy. I want to watch things that were made for old cranky men.
Yeah. I want to watch kids getting hurt on skateboards.
What was that? What did I watch today? I'm a total old man. I watched 2 episodes of Quantum Leap, and I watched Mad Men. I'm starting Mad Men again. That's it.
I never watched Mad Men.
Put it on the wheel. It's the greatest show of all time. I love it so much. It's good. But yeah, rewatchable 80s cartoons. Thundercats. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the property, watch it. Good.
No, it's a good watch though. It's something.
Bionic 6. Like I know it's on the wheel. I don't want to go crazy with it, but good rewatch. Transformers, Ninja Turtles, DuckTales. Good rewatch.
I don't remember when the Legend of Zelda cartoon came out.
Horrible rewatch. Absolutely impossible to watch. Have you seen it? Link is some chauvinistic. Link is like hey, princess, give me a kiss. Come over here, princess. Like he's such a jerk in that. See, I don't like Ghostbusters, so that's me. I'm sure it's good. You know what show's good? And I know it's like a offbeat one. That Dennis the Menace show from the 80s. Like that show's good. Like when I kept it on for my kids a couple years ago, I was like, wow, this actually each episode's kind of fun. It's almost like the Sandlot-ish kind of thing where like it's like not the 1950s, but like it's kind of simple and just like reminds you of being a kid.
Yeah, and I don't remember time frame on some of the Disney stuff, but I'm like DuckTales. Like, that was
DuckTales is 80s, but it's good.
I can actually. There are some episodes of like Gummy Bears I can watch. I know it's a weird show to get behind. I think Tailspin was 90s.
Tailspin does get into the 90s, and I never really watched that. I remember that the theme song was like some kind of catchy samba beat, but I really didn't care. I turned it off.
But there are definitely some ones in there that.
Like I tried to watch Wheeled Warriors and it was bad, so I can't recommend that.
I never got into Speed Racer. I think that was the 80s.
Oh, no, Speed Racer was like 60s.
Why wasn't it redone?
There might have been a relaunch that I wasn't into or didn't know about, but the original one from like the 60s, that's great. I used to wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning on school days to watch that. I have the complete collection. Hey. I am a pretty big Speed Racer fan. I have the entire series right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. So yeah, it's good. Although I think it's the 60s. I don't think it's the 80s. But yeah, 80s cartoons are hit and miss. I think a lot of it, if you have an attachment to the property, you can look past the flaws. And sometimes you're just like, this is horrible. Like I love Masters of the Universe. I can watch like 4 He-Man episodes before I feel like throwing up.
But like I have the figures here, Grayskull's up there, and I love the toys, but trying to rewatch the cartoon, I'm like,
nah.
The running animation I can't get past.
Yeah, well, rotoscope, it was really stiff.
And that kind of, I mean, that's where it starts, and it trickles down from other things. But
the thing that saves He-Man for me is the 5 seconds where he turns into He-Man and that song kicks in. And din, 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 din. My mom must have heard me running around, no shirt on. Din, 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 din.
I do that every day.
I might just go upstairs and do that tonight. Grab the broom, run around the house.
You don't have the actual sword? You don't have the
No, I don't have a prop sword. You would be. I have a lightsaber. I have Anakin's lightsaber, so maybe I'll just grab
That
that.
might work.
Yeah. I hate you.
I hate sand.
My wife, she's always like, I have the high ground. I'm like, yeah, no crap.
Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. But
Yeah.
so we're getting off on a tangent, so I'm going to bring us back in a little bit here. That can happen sometimes, but it's okay.
Every time.
Rewatchable 80s cartoons that you have, and this could be a topic that can be flushed out more over time. Listen to the comments here, because we're old. We're all older now. We might forget some. Yeah, I'm covering up my gray hair with a hat today.
Yeah.
So let's get the wheel going here. And
Why'd you land on Bionic 6 just to really hammer home the 80s cartoon theme today?
well, if it lands on Bionic 6, it's going to be you talking the whole time, because I even looked up stuff. I remember the toys, but I don't remember anything about the show.
Show's good. I mean, it's like M.a.s.k. Like, it's standalone episodes. There's not really much to it. Oh. I don't know if I'm prepared to answer this. The strangest item. The Wayne Gretzky Barbie doll. That's pretty strange.
Well, you have that one, and I have the remake.
You got the second. Oh, the starting lineup one.
Yeah, it's on my
I have Arnold Palmer in that version. I have an Arnold Palmer. I mean, that's a kind of a weird toy to have. An Arnold Palmer action figure. Who has that?
It's more akin to a Barbie doll than
it is. Yeah.
My dad has that Gretzky doll that you have too. It is a weird piece to have, but if you also understand, not many people might understand how huge Wayne Gretzky was at the time to have that occur. He was the face of the NHL for 25 years. Or
forget about it.
20 years.
And the year they made that toy, I think, is 83. He's he's not Gretzky yet, but he's Gretzky.
He probably still had 120 points.
Yeah, he was 2 years away from the greatest season ever.
Weirdest item in my collection.
I have weird little things that just mean something to me. Hold on.
All right, so we've been sitting here the whole time when we were prepared for this. So Brian, what's the weirdest item in your collection?
I have a 3-way tie, I think. And they're not weird in that, oh my God, where did you get that? In some, it's not like I have a gremlin from, some, wise old man in an alley. I don't have, a Mogwai. But these little quarter ninjas out of the machines from the 80s, I somehow stumbled across these, and I played with these. My grandmother wasn't one for, buying us expensive toys, but the quarters she seemed to have in droves. Her pocketbook probably weighed 1,000 pounds. She could probably beat someone to death with that thing. But I have all these. I have 15 of these little ninjas. I even have this one guy. I don't know how it stayed intact. He has his grappling hook still, a little ninja. I have. This is a weird one. This rubber Popeye that when I was a little kid. I'm talking 2 or 3.
That?
It's a rubber. It's a bendy Popeye. When I was 2.
The proportions on that are weird.
Yeah, he's just straight. He's the skinniest thing ever. He's just a bendy. When I was 2, every picture of me is with this Popeye, not this one, but it has no legs. I don't know if I chewed the legs off of the bendy, but I have half a Popeye. And I remember my mom's you and that Popeye. So when I was older, I tracked it down, and I actually got this one. I still have the box it comes in. It comes in a little box. And then here, thanks to Eric Elliott, I have a Korean bootleg Battle of the Planets 5-pack. He sent this to me, I don't know, about a month or so ago, and this thing is sweet because there's really no Battle of the Planets toys that, exist outside of Japan. So, those, I don't know if they're weird, but they're different.
I'm going to go with 2 things here. I talked about this not too long ago, is this playful figure. This is how it was sold, and it comes with
Condor. I mean, Condor Hocus Pocus on top.
Yeah, this is how it was sold to me.
Oh my God!
And it's definitely a playful figure because it has the metal pins in the leg. I don't understand what the hell this is or how it came to be. I know I didn't pay that much for it, but I know that looking at it as an item in the collection, it's definitely one of the odder things that I have.
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, there might be some other odder things here too, but if I'm going mask wise, I'm thinking about that. There's other things back here, but I've gotten rid of a lot of the odder items. There's one thing up here that I'm going to grab in a second. It's a little bit weird and it might make more sense. It's outside of mask, so hopefully I don't offend anybody.
Uh-oh.
And then we have the mittens that I have.
The child mittens.
They don't even fit my feet or two of my toes, really.
You know, those are going to be your son's gloves one day. So
he's already past grown. He's past these already.
Has he? Oh, missed the opportunity.
It wasn't. We couldn't take him anywhere.
Oh, damn you, COVID-19.
So, and I got my Adidas shorts on. You know, let's make sure we got that going. This is a.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
I forget what size it holds.
That looks like all the Jim Aparo art. Like, that's awesome.
I found this at a thrift store in Pennsylvania. And it has no, I mean, you know, I have other Batman, Superman, everything else, etc. But this held like old LPs in it. And I forget the size, but you can kind of see what size it is here.
It looks like it's perfect to dump some Migos in.
It was definitely a record holder. I just don't know exactly what size. I'm sorry about that. But the clasp still works. I have this Batman awesome. Hiding in it. I won this on the boardwalk in Wildwood. I don't know how many years ago.
Wait, were you an adult or a kid?
I was a kid.
Okay, because when you're a kid, it's cool.
On it. So this is like a bootleg Batman that I won on the boardwalk down there.
When you're a kid, it's exciting. When you're an adult, you're like, I got to carry this thing around all day.
Copyright National Periodical Publications, Inc., 1970. It's either 1970, which I don't think it is.
Wow.
1976 or 1978. It's really.
I would guess 78.
Yeah. So
70 seems early for the designs on that box.
There you go. 76 on the back.
All right. Yeah. That makes sense because
it might be hard to see it in focus here, but I saw it. I was like, it was like $8. I was like, yeah, I'm buying that.
Because that Neil Adams on the back of him breaking the chain, I don't think that issue is that's famous. That's like an iconic issue. That cover.
No, see, this year, even though I wasn't born yet, they knew I was going to be doing this all the time. Like I just break chains every day with my chest.
I do it, every day.
Yeah, every day. So
I'm about to break through some T-shirts.
It's a more obscure item that doesn't fit into anything else. That's really like I have like the superpowers collector's case and
yeah, but that's not weird. That's like part of it.
Exactly. Like, but this is weird because it doesn't fit in any other category.
Like this is just special to me because my grandma used to buy these things. I would never buy these quarter things in a million years, except they mean something to me, you know?
Yeah. And, you know,
so it's weird.
The funny thing is that well, before we, continue on, whatever weird items you have in your collection, let me know. Let us know in the comments because everybody collects different things. It doesn't matter what you collect. You can collect stamps, you can collect bugs, you can collect coins, anything. I don't know why I went with those three things, but they were just three things that came to mind. Whatever you collect, what is the weirdest thing in your collection, and let us know why it's weird, because we might not be an expert. We're experts at everything, but we might not be an expert at that one particular thing, so let us know in the comments. I know Brian's an expert on the Rocketeer, so
yeah, apparently
that damn thing keeps staring at me. I'm like,
it's just drilling a hole through your head. I just don't want I don't want anybody to like confess to like I have a freezer full of frozen human heads.
No, I didn't say that yet. All right. So it's
my neighbor's dog is in my freezer. That's a weird item in my collection.
Last topic for the day.
Yeah, I think we can end on. Oh God, I thought about this top 5 video games. I thought about this earlier when I saw the wheel topics before we taped, and you know what? I could have a top 5 wrestling video game, top 5 football video. I could break down my favorite video games into like 9,000 subset categories because I love so many different games. To break it down into 5, I'm going to be missing so many, but like, I can do it. It's just
that's
like,
part
wow.
of the fun of it.
Yeah.
I mean, for both of us being fans of nostalgia, being fans of video games, it's going to be a difficult process to lay out what's your favorite video game of all time as of 3/17/2021. It's going to factor in many different ways for many different people. I hope that if you're watching to this point in the video, you give us your top 5, because not only will it show that there's a diversity of everything, but
they're all going to be different, right?
Give us something to play. Like we can
No, I am looking for a new game because I can only win the Stanley Cup so many times in NHL 21.
You're not wrong there. All right, so I guess starting backwards from 5.
I can tell you the one I always put at number 1, no matter what, because it's my game. And you probably didn't play it because you don't like football at all. But Tecmo Super Bowl is number 1.
I love that game.
And
it wasn't one of my favorites. But
not Tecmo Bowl, not the first one. Not the first one's the one with the green writing and the guy's generic guy's face. The second one, Tecmo Super Bowl, has like the fake New York Giant on the cover, and that came out I think 91, and that is probably to this day the game that I play the most, like in my whole life. If you add up all the hours I spent so much time playing that game. That's just fun. It's a fun game,
and
I'm the best at it.
Bo Jackson in it, where you couldn't stop him.
Bo Jackson's in the first Tecmo Bowl, but the one that everybody generally remembers is the one I'm talking about. That's the Bo Jackson. You can run like a crazy person in it.
It didn't make any sense because he wasn't even that good of a football player.
The worst kid in my neighborhood at it had to be Bo Jackson. He had to be the Raiders every time because, I'm not. It's nothing bad to be. It's not a shame to be bad at video games. He didn't play that much, but at sleepovers, if he wanted to stand a chance against anybody that was good, like I was going to win all the time. He had to be Bo Jackson. It was like it was his only chance.
Oh man!
It doesn't hurt that I was really good at it.
Do you want to go 1 to 5, or do you want to go 5 to 1?
I would go. You know what? I don't know if I could put these in a specific order, other than I know that I have to include Tecmo Super Bowl, Street Fighter 2, just because it means so much to me. I love that game when I was younger, and a lot of them do. It's like toys. It's like movies. A lot of the ones that affected you when you were growing up still kind of resonate in your thing. Like I still say Star Wars is my favorite movie, even though I think there are much better movies than Star Wars. But Star Wars will never be not my answer. Street Fighter 2. I loved NHL 94, even though the earlier ones had some fights, and I think 94 eliminated it, but I loved that game when I was a kid.
Oh, 94 was the first one that had blood.
Yeah, you could just smash somebody and they just start bleeding out of their skull.
Yep. It was the greatest thing ever.
If I'm going to really put modern games on there, Breath of the Wild, that Zelda game? Yeah. That game is just beyond good. And I love all the Zeldas, but that one,
I love Zelda. God,
I was obsessed with it.
But I got bored of it after a while, where I got to a point and I'm like, all right, like the repetitive missions. It got too repetitive.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think it was my daughter was finally learning how to really play a video game when she was like 3 and she was controlling it, and I'd let her run around and fight stuff, and she really got the hang of it. And I think her wanting to play it for like an entire year.
Like I can't wait to land and do stuff like that.
It's great. She kept me into it longer than I would have normally been into it, and I think it helped because she started stumbling upon things. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even know that thing existed. And then we fought some dragon with eyeball. It was great.
I think for me that there was too little happening. There was too much.
Yeah, it's very free. It's just very like free.
But like Link's Awakening, we both played that.
Yeah.
That was a really good remake. I didn't like the original.
Every Zelda's good. I like Skyward Sword. I'm sitting there in my basement swinging the Wii controller. Skyward Sword's awesome. And You know what I have to put on here? And I love Last of Us. The first 20 minutes of that game, like I'm crying watching the Last of Us game. And it was so good. But I think I have to put Metal
I
Gear.
haven't played that one yet.
Oh my God, play Last of Us.
I don't
Especially
really
now that
want to
you're
cry for 20 minutes. So
you are, especially the first 15 minutes, you will cry. If you don't cry, maybe you're just a heartless monster. It's so good. Like, and you get so attached to the characters in that game, and the gameplay is amazing. And again, I was really good at online multiplayer. I was just shooting people in the head with arrows from like 100 yards away. But I think I'm gonna put Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid is gonna take my last spot. I love that game. I have the figures from it. I didn't even look at them until right now. Yeah, I love Metal Gear Solid. I have the whole Metal Gear series. It gets crazy at times, and the last game has some like issues with like the story not being as fun or engaging as the other ones. But like Metal Gear is awesome. Like, and Doug Stone. Doug Stone is Psycho Mantis. So
yes. Well, I can give you mine here. I want to start from 5 and work my way up.
All right.
I'm just that kind of guy. Blades of Steel.
Oh, it's so good.
So a lot of these are going to be
hit the pad. Hit the pad.
They're gonna, yeah. I had that for my alert for a long time on my.
I love Blades of Steel. I can still remember the music. Din 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 din.
Like it was just such a fun game. Like ice hockey was fun too, but this game, had the
Blades of Steel's better.
It just felt different. Number 4, I had a toss up here between a couple different games, and what I'm thinking here, it's like I love the Super Mario series on Nintendo.
Yeah, it's hard not to put one on the list. They're good.
And I think if I'm being objective, I think Super Mario 3 would fit here. It takes the elements of the first one, bypasses the second one completely because
the second one's not my favorite, but I don't think it was really a Mario game originally. So,
and then it elaborates on it and really pushes it through. And I still play current games, but these are the ones that are like really.
You should have been in the Wizard instead of Fred Savage. You'd have got to play that thing fast.
Or it could have been that kid that said California all the time. Number 3, I'm going to go with Chrono Trigger.
Is that a role playing game?
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a good role playing game.
My brother was into that.
One of my favorite games of all time, and it's not going to crack my top 5, is Dragon Warrior 4. There's a whole canon of this.
I like RPGs too. I like Final Fantasy like 7 through 10. Like I liked Phantasy Star when I was younger. Remember Phantasy Star on like Sega Genesis? Those were good.
Yes, there was Phantasy Star 1 through 4, if I remember correctly, and I think it went on to the Saturn.
Yeah, and there was like an online version on Dreamcast. Like you could go online. I remember like I used to love that.
But Chrono Trigger, it encompasses a really rich story, really great visuals for the Super Nintendo. The soundtrack's amazing. It just kind of pulls it all together. 2 for me is Super Metroid.
Okay, I never was a Metroid person. I don't like them, but
there's something about the endless expanse of searching in those games that really, really stuck with me. And I love the original Metroid. It frustrated the hell out of me.
That's the thing. The first Metroid, like it's so hard. Like it just put me off.
It's almost impossible.
Rough. I played it 2 days ago on like to just see if I got better as I got older. It's not. It's really hard.
I remember that my mom would sit there and play that with me because it was so hard. She wasn't that great at it, but she helped me advance. I never really played the second one because it was on the Game Boy. When this one came out, I was just blown away by everything with it. It's such a long game to play through. There's a ton of visuals in it. There's a ton of expansions, and
I like the look of the games. They're just I'm bad at them.
No, and it's the ones on like Wii and all that, and the Switch. I'm not good at those. On
like the first person. Yeah.
Side scroller, I'm fine. The first person ones I do not do.
Metroid Prime, I think it was called.
And still, my favorite game of all time is still Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Yeah, that's good.
That game, literally, we can stop this Zoom call and I can pick it up right now, and I'll play through to a certain point. Like, all right, I'll pick up the rest tomorrow, but I won't be like, oh, I can't believe I'm playing this again. It's such an enjoyable story. The gameplay is so fluid in it, and it's hard. Like, I know there's been other really great Zelda games, Legend of Zelda games.
No, it's a perfect Zelda game.
Twilight Princess.
I like Link. Did you ever play Link Between Worlds? You would have had to have a Game Boy for it.
No,
it's based on Link to the Past, the same type of gameplay. It's really good, but you got to get a Game Boy, like a newer one.
See if I can find that. But
and you can hide in like artwork. It's cool.
Actually, no, I do remember that. But the Link to the Past is it's still, I think, my favorite.
It's a good number one.
There's a pattern here that I have. It's mostly Nintendo. There's some Genesis games that I like, but they're not going to make my top 5.
It's all Nintendo, I think.
I always like Sonic.
I love every wrestling game that I have down here. I have Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, King of Coliseum, Fire Pro Wrestling, Pro Wrestling.
The original NES Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Played that.
And I just drew that the other day.
There's NWO.
Yeah, WCW, WCW Revenge. Like, I love all those wrestling games. Like, but like, I don't know. Like, I feel like wrestling with me should have its own category because I have like a tier list of my favorite wrestling.
The funny thing is I never really watched it. I knew the characters, I knew the personalities, but the games were entertaining.
The games are so
like,
fun.
Hey, look, you're taking this fake thing and it's turning into something that's more realistic.
And it's the multiplayer wrestling is as good as it gets.
Moves, and it has more gravity to it. When you're watching wrestling and they're hitting you like this.
Yeah, well, I was watching some stuff the other day. It's like when it's so fake, you laugh at it. You either laugh at it or you turn it off.
Yeah, but I mean, there's also real stuff too. But that's not what these games are based on. Like,
no,
there are people out there that do all these underground wrestling stuff, and it's insane. But you have the entertainment value of what is it even called now? Is it WWF still?
No, it's WWE, AEW. There's a couple. NWA still around.
Okay.
But they're all basically the same thing,
But wrestling games definitely are fun to play if they're done
awesome.
Well. It's like I would just be I guess it was the Giant. I would just choke slam everybody.
Choke slam.
And I can't, and an honorable mention is Goldeneye.
That was great.
That revolutionized.
That reminds me of like high school into college, just like
it
that
revolutionized multiplayer, even though it was all local. You would play on a TV that was
great,
no bigger than your maybe standard computer monitor, and
I was just gonna say as big as a monitor I'm staring at.
People are squinting in the corners trying to figure out what the hell they're doing, but you had so much fun doing it.
Love that game.
It was a game that you can really get into. But so top 5, as you said, there could be categories that we can explore that later. But I wanted to do something broad first to kind of get the topic out there, and we can branch off a little bit later. But if you're watching,
talk about whatever,
and you have some games you want to recommend in your top 5, let us know. I don't own a PlayStation 5 yet, so don't recommend anything there. I'll be depressed. I can't find a damn thing. So
no, forget it.
But no. Before we close out, though, Brian, I want to make sure that we cover any of the new work that you're working on. Any of the new artwork that you have out there. And I talked to you about your McDonald's shot. Like, I see about that. I really like it. Like, I like the message you sent, and I like the whole premise of it, especially because Grimace was dead. That was
Grimace had to go. He died first.
But what are some other, anything else you're working on?
See, you know what it is? I want to draw more for me, and I'm just caught in a world of I'm part of a pretty big project with a a comic book going on right now. I'm 6 pages out of the 24 a month, so I have to do 6 pages a month for the thing. I mean, it's like a paid gig, so I'm doing that. I do a lot of stuff for this, wrestling loot crate guy. I see my T-shirts starting to pop up everywhere now, and I'm like, oh my god, I drew that. Like, it's just weird. But when I get to draw for myself, I literally just go like, what am I into right now? What do I like? And what have I been talking about on the internet? Like the other day, we were talking about like the McDonald's playgrounds, and I'm like, yo, whatever happened to those other characters? And I know there was a lawsuit and all that, but I was like, but what really happened to them? Like, why don't they exist anymore? And then I was just like, oh, McHunger Games, draw it.
So I'm looking behind you there,
Mm-hmm.
and I see the Rocketeer, Kermit, and Buzz Lightyear. I think that should be a project.
Yeah, well, the Muppets are definitely on my radar. You know what the problem is? I drew Buzz Lightyear like a couple months ago just because that's what I was looking at. I've drawn everything over there. I've drawn Rocketeer, Dick Tracy, that Batman. I've drawn my whole basement now, basically. I've drawn almost everything down here. That Kermit was just my daughter ripped him out of my back room. I guess that's a weird item I own. But I'm just when I get to draw for myself, like the other day, I'm like,
is it a figure?
It's like a plushie, but it's got like wire arms, so it can like pose into spots. The other day I drew a pro wrestling thing, from the video game, the Nintendo one, just because I was like, I kind of want to draw these characters. Like, I don't know, so it's cool. I just keep going. And sometimes I hit, and sometimes I miss.
On that game, you got all these people that are people, and you got a monster. It's like,
I'm always the monster too, just biting head.
It's like, okay, is that makeup or is it?
No, he's the Amazon. His mouth even looks like a monster. Like he's a monster.
I never really thought of that when I was younger. I was always Starman.
That backflip kick. That used to. Oh God, I hate.
My brother.
See, I'm like the only guy who hates Starman because my brother just used to kick me in the head.
Yeah, all the time. All the time I would do that.
And I hate Starman.
But I don't remember all the names, but I was just like Starman.
I was always the Amazon or King Corn Karn and just chopping people in the head. I don't know.
Well, we're going to look forward to following you on Twitter.
Thank you.
On anything else that you're on.
Well, I'm all over.
MySpace, right?
Yeah, MySpace with Tom.
Google Plus.
Yep.
Yeah. So
only fans.
until next time on Talkin Overtime. That's Brian. I did it right. 1 out of 55 isn't good. It's pretty good.
Hey, baseball.
And if you have a topic that you want us to talk about later on, please let us know in the comments. And we'll talk to you later.
Be good.
What's the score?
All right. 7-0. I swear to God, I'm not joking. They scored 5 goals during that episode. I'm not
Are you
joking.
kidding me?
It's 7-0, and they only have 16 shots on goal. I swear to God. I wish I had been looking at the TV at all. I didn't look over once. 7-0. Put this in the episode. Oh, you stopped recording. Did you?
No, I'm still recording. I'll leave that in and I'll believe it.
Oh God, 7-0. Hey, maybe they'll come back.
So this is taking the episode. This is this little after.
Oh my God.
The Flyers are playing the New York Rangers right now.
And I was going to keep it on to do like scoring updates, but then I forgot.
The entire coaching staff is out on COVID protocol. They don't have one single coach that actually knows their system and knows how they play. And they're beating the Flyers 7-0 right now.
They almost scored again. Hey, maybe by the time this show airs,
nobody has a hat trick yet, though.
I don't know. They'll have won 8-7.
Oh, by the what is it? The second period?
Second period, 7-0. Let's go Flyers. Oh man. Maybe it's is Panarin back?
Yeah, but
maybe he scored a bunch. I don't know. It's rough.
Huge Flyers fan, and when I saw, when you said
7-0,
I was like, no, he's actually telling me the truth. I believe.
No.
When you first said it, I was like, wait, no. But then I was like, no. Why is he gonna lie to me? Because we both hate the Rangers.
Yeah, I'm not a Ranger guy, so. All right. Talkin Overtime. Hopefully this game goes to overtime.
Yeah,
I don't know.
there's hockey in this one. I know that when I talk with hockey, Doug Stone, people tend not to like it, but I love it because I'm talking hockey with Matt-Trakker. Now I'm depressed, and
Yeah.
it's
Go drink some Coke. You know what? You have Justice League tomorrow, so think about that.
Yeah.
Oof. 7-0.
All right. So, again, this is we're ending it off here again. I'm gonna go cry.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna keep laughing because it's kind of fun.
That's Brian. I'm Bill. We'll talk to you later.
Be good again.